What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and today we're going to be talking about the New York Knicks. Hit it. What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and today we are going to be talking about the Knicks. I know the last couple episodes we have been talking about Batman, we have been talking about video games, which is fine. I actually like doing a lot. It's pretty fun, but now we're going to change it up a little bit. This podcast is about entertainment, so there'll be times where I will talk about video games, sometimes I'll talk about sports, sometimes I'll talk about movies, and today we are talking about the Knicks. They're a sports team, and they're my favorite team. And I do want to show you, I got this new shirt. I bought this last week, and it's a shirt. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, they play for the Knicks. They have a podcast called The Roommates. Great podcast. This is their shirt. Love the podcast. They have a lot of celebrities and actors as their guests, and basketball players as their guests. Fun podcast to watch. If you've never seen it, it's called The Roommates. Great podcast. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Knicks because regular season's almost over. We have one more game. Tomorrow's our last game. And regular season for the basketball for NBA has been pretty interesting, has been pretty fun. And I want to talk about the Knicks, because they've been doing great. They've been having a great season. Phenomenal season, actually, now I think about it. They have 49 wins, 32 losses. That's really well. And I just want to talk about a couple things, give my opinion. Yes, my opinion. My opinion might be biased. I ain't going to lie about that, because it's my favorite team. But let's get right into it. Earlier 2 months ago, I talked about the Knicks not once but twice, and it's been like 2 months that I haven't talked about them. And I was talking about OG Anunoby, when they got the trade for him, and I just gotta say that was a great trade. Look, I love RJ, I love Emmanuel Quickly, and I'm gonna say it right here. They're doing phenomenal for the Raptors. Now the Raptors aren't, they're not in the playoffs. They have a losing record, but while RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly's been in the Raptors, they've been playing phenomenal, been playing well, especially RJ. RJ has stepped it up a notch. He's been knocking down more of his shots. He's been playing a lot better defense, and I'm proud of those two guys. I'm happy that they're succeeding in their new team. But the OG Anunoby trade has been phenomenal for the Knicks. Now, let's talk a little bit about it. We traded him in January. In the month of January, with OG, the Knicks went on a 9-2. They won 9 games and lost only 2 in January. They went on a 9-game winning streak, and then OG Anunoby got hurt. He had elbow surgery, so he was gone for like a pretty good amount of games. I think he was gone for like almost 22 games or something like that. Then he recently just came back. He started playing with us again, and that trade, like I said, has been good. The Knicks, while with Anunoby, they are 18-3. They won 18 games and only lost 3. That's impressive. Now, here's what I'm going to say about the Knicks is that, first of all, I love the Knicks. I love this squad. I love this team because you got guys that love to play basketball. You got guys that really want to play basketball and that really are hungry. They're hungry to win a championship in New York, which is what we need. That's what Knicks fans need. They need players that are hungry to get a championship, to make it to the finals. And like I said, I love the Knicks. Julius Randle, he's a Knicks player. He got hurt during the month in January. And I want to talk about this real quick because a lot of people have been calling out Julius Randle, have been saying like he was dumb for not getting surgery right away. So what happened was we're facing Miami Heat. It was like 5 minutes left in the game. You might say, "Oh, why does Tom Thibodeau, the coach, have his guys out?" You might say he should have put them back in the game. Well, at the time, if I'm not mistaken, the Heat was making a little run and trying to make a comeback. So what happened was Julius Randle was going to go to the basket, make a jump, and a player named Jaime Jaquez, or I think I said his name wrong, Jaime, he was trying to draw a charge. And if he was trying to get a charge so the Miami could get the ball. Well, that didn't happen. They called blocking foul. And when that happened, Julius Randle was in the air. He got in the way. He fell down. He dislocated his shoulder. And so Randall, during that time, he had two options. He could go to rehab and see if his shoulder will be fine, or he could get surgery right away. Julius Randle decides to do rehab and try to get his shoulder a lot better. Try to see if he can not need surgery. Just recently, they just said that he has a season-ending, so he's season-ending, surgery. He's gonna get surgery on his shoulder. He did it already, but that means he's not gonna be. The Knicks makes it to the playoffs, so he's not gonna be there with us. And a lot of people were calling him out and saying why he didn't do it earlier. Well, no matter what, it was going to be 5 months to 6 months, so he probably would have missed some of the playoffs. And you don't want Randall to play in the playoffs when he's coming back. He's not in rhythm. But what was interesting was Randall was talking about the reason why he was trying to get back was because he wanted to play with his guys. He wanted to play with the Knicks because they were playing well, and he wanted to help them win games. He wanted to help them. And I give him respect for that. I respect it. I respect Julius Randle for that because it shows you that he cares about like when I tell you that these Knicks players love basketball and they care about basketball, I'm not making this up. Like Mitchell Robinson they predict that Mitchell Robinson is another one that got injured, and they said that he was not supposed to come back. That he had a season-ending surgery, but he's playing right now with the Knicks. So me personally, I think we have players that love to play basketball, and I think our future, like the Knicks' future, is set. Like I think we are set where we're at. If we keep guys, we keep them. If we lose them, we lose them. I'm going to talk about a couple players that I think have really, really stepped up. Well, Randall and OG and Mitch Robinson were out, and how the Knicks are still between the top 2 to top 4 team right now in the East. Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be my first one because I'm just going to say this. This is his last year with us. So the Knicks in the offseason, I really hope the Knicks can sign him back because Isaiah Hartenstein has just showed you how a great defender he is, how great offensive player he is. He's great pass. He's a center. He's a great passer. He knows how to play the game well. He's a great rebounder, and he's just great all around. Mitchell Robinson was our starting center, and he was our offensive juggernaut, like offensive rebound juggernaut, our defensive juggernaut. And then he got hurt. Isaiah Hartenstein took over for him. He said, "I got you," and he's been playing phenomenal. If the Knicks don't sign him, I'll be so upset because first of all, Isaiah Hartenstein is another guy that he hustles, he has toughness. And I just love him. Like, I really love Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, he is a great player. The Knicks, I hope they could sign him back. If they don't, I hope he does well I hope he does well wherever he goes, because he's a great center. He's a great player. Like, I'm gonna give him a lot of credit because he stepped it up a lot. Another player I think that's stepped it up a lot too. I know a lot of people were upset about it at first. A lot of people were giving him a lot of they were giving him a lot of crap. Josh Hart, he's another one that stepped up a lot. Josh Hart, he's probably one of the guys that you look at his stat sheets and you can see that he goes like 2 to 8. He maybe has 2 points. You're like, what is he really there for? But then you look, he's like getting the offensive rebounds. He's getting the rebounds. He's fighting off screens. He's playing some great defense on players, and he's great. He's all around. He's a great player. Is he good? Me personally, I really believe Josh Hart can be a great offensive player, but even Josh Hart likes to admit, and even Jalen Brunson likes to admit, like Josh Hart likes to admit, like sometimes, like he's there to play basketball, he's there to do whatever, and if he's not there to score, he's not going to score. There'll be times where he scores. I'm going to say this: Josh Hart is more like a player that he decides when he wants to start scoring. He decides what he wants to do because sometimes Josh Hart would not shoot the ball and would not score. He will go, he won't do anything except get the rebounds. Then there are games where he's scoring, he's going coast to coast. So Josh Hart to me is more like a player that he does what he wants. Like he's not what he wants, but he just, if he feels like scoring, he'll score. Dante DiVincenzo, I just got to say, first of all, Leon Rose hit it in the nail with signing him. in the off during the off season. A lot of people said that wasn't even a smart idea. And let me tell you how Dante DiVincenzo has been playing phenomenal. Like, yes, he can be inconsistent. Yes, there are times where he goes on. He could be inconsistent and then he's consistent. But if there's one thing I could say about him is that he is a great 3-point shooter. All around, he's a great 3-point shooter. He's another player that can get you buckets. He's another player that can create offense, and it's great. He's been a great accurate switcher for us. He's been great, with playing with the Knicks. And his defense. The thing I'll say is that his defense is a little. Sometimes can be a little off. There are times where he actually plays good defense. There are times where he loses his. He doesn't do good defense. So, but all around, Dante DiVincenzo is a phenomenal player. He's actually a pretty good player. Another player coming off the bench, and this is the one I am really happy about that's been playing phenomenal, Miles McBride. Now, let me tell you what happened. Miles McBride, we got him in 2021, I believe. It was 2021, and he was a rookie, but he really hasn't seen that much playing time in the NBA. We put him in the G League. We tried to develop him through the G League, and he'll sometimes play for the Knicks, but not all the time. He's mostly in the bench. He'll never see time to play. And during the why can't I think about it? What's it called? During the trade deadline, we traded Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and Malachi Flynn for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alex Burks. And a lot of people thought that Alex Burks was going to be the guy coming off the bench to be like the starting point guard off the bench and the guy. But when we traded Quentin Grimes and we got those guys, we also extended Miles McBride for 3 years for like $13 million, which is very cheap. And let me tell you how he's been playing phenomenal. Like, out of nowhere, Miles McBride, and I said to people, Miles McBride is going to be special because he's a great defender. And if he figured out his offensive game, he's going to be a great two-way player. And he has not been disappointing at all. He has been phenomenal. First of all, he's playing a lot. He's been shooting 40 or close to 40% 3-point shot. He's been averaging He's probably averaging around 10 points per game or something like that. I don't know his average. It might be 8 points per game. But there would be games where he'll give you 10, he'll give you 12, he'll give you 15. And he has been, like I said, he's been phenomenal. He's been playing well. One thing I really do love is his defense. He plays hard in the defensive end. He steals the ball. He tries to go over the screens. He fights over the screens. Love him. I love Miles McBride. And I'm so happy that he's like driving right now for the Knicks. Like, he is showing you why he's good as a backup point guard. Because Miles McBride, like I said, I was telling people, he's going to be special if you give him a shot. And now the Knicks are giving him a shot, and he's been playing phenomenal. It was like he was getting 0 minutes to like now he's getting like 20 to 30, even sometimes 40 minutes. OG Anunoby, what can I say except he's a great defender. And what's been surprising me more is his offense. Like, he's been playing some good offense. Like, he's not known for his offensive game. He's more for his defensive game. But when I tell you, like, he fits so well with the Knicks, and he's, like, shooting the corner three in a high percentage. He's driving to the basket. He's making dunks. He's cutting to the, like, he's just been, and then his defense, it's just phenomenal. He could guard a point guard. He could guard the shooting guard. He could guard 1 through 5. I mean, 1 through 5 means point guard, shooting guard, power forward, small forward, and center. Like, he could guard all the positions. And it's just incredible how great he's been. He's just been phenomenal. Now, I have to talk about him. And I got to talk about Jalen Brunson. My honest opinion, my biased opinion, actually. Let's be honest here. This is me being biased. First of all, Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal. Now, before I say this, I do want to let you guys know, like, I do believe that the Knicks do have 2 stars in New York, and the 2 stars, like in basketball, and the 2 stars for that is Julius Randle. Yes, I'm going to say Julius Randle because let me tell you something. Julius Randle has been When he got to the Knicks, he came in 2019, and he's been here for almost, 6 years? No, wait, no, he has been here like almost 4 to 5 years, and he's three time three-time All-Star with the Knicks and two-time All-NBA. And if he did not get injured, I'm saying this right now, if Julius Randle did not get injured at all this year, he probably would have been three-time All-NBA because he was playing phenomenal. When he got hurt during January. He was averaging 24 points per game. And he probably would have scored more if he didn't get hurt. But he got hurt. But Julius Randle, yes, I think he's a star in New York. And Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, when I say this, has been phenomenal for the Knicks. He has been killing it. Dude is averaging almost 28 points per game. He's phenomenal. He's a great basketball player. He has a great basketball IQ. He's showing people why. A lot of people say he's not a 1A player. He's not a 1B player. The Knicks can't win with him. But they have been winning with him. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, okay, can they do that in the playoffs? Well, last year in the playoffs, even though the Knicks made it to the second round, he was playing phenomenal. He averaged, I think, 28 points. He averaged between 26 to 28 points per game against Cleveland in the first round. In the second round, he averaged around 31 points per game. And he was just, carrying this Knicks team. And, Jalen Brown, a lot of people are like, oh, can he carry a team? Well, just like how I think Julius Randle could carry a team, because Julius Randle showed that in 2021 to 2022 where he carried the New York Knicks to a playoff series. I honestly believe that Jalen Brunson has been carrying a team. He's doing what Julius Randle did in 2021 where, and you might say, oh, well, how is that possible? Well, let me explain this to you. In January, they were the eighth seed. They were the eighth seed. They were probably 30 games in, eighth seed. Maybe actually not even maybe the eighth seed. They probably were the sixth seed or the fifth seed. But they weren't they were playing well. They got Anunoby. Then the Knicks started going on a little run. They got 9 wins. And then Anunoby and Julius Randle both got injured they both got injured, I think, the same game or close to the same game. And then next thing you know, you don't have Mitchell Robinson, who got injured in December. And then Isaiah Hartenstein's another one that kind of got hurt a little bit, and he hasn't played a couple games. So you're missing, you're missing a pretty good amount of your starters. And you got Jalen Brunson with Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, who else? Jericho Sims. So, you're missing a couple of your players. And I'm talking about your good players, too. Your players that, your starting guys that can get you buckets. Julius Randle can get you a bucket. OG Anunoby can get you a bucket. Mitchell Robinson, gain the offensive rebound, get you buckets. So you're missing those guys. And, by the way, Mitchell Robinson at the time was playing phenomenal, too, before he got hurt. And so now it's just basically Brunson with Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and just a bunch of other guys, Bogey, Alex Burks. But, you'd probably be like, oh, you would think that the Knicks will go down. The Knicks will probably be in the play-in. The Knicks will probably be at AFC. Maybe they won't even make it to the playoffs. But that's not what happened. Jalen Brunson, what happened? Jalen Brunson literally was carrying this team, making sure they won games. I think it was during the February. I think the February time is where they were actually losing a little. They had a losing record in February. They were 2-5 or something like that, or 2-6, and then March they started winning again. So it's been back and forth with the winning and losing. But you would think that, the Knicks wouldn't be in the playoffs. But like I said, Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal. Jalen Brunson is he's a star. And he's just plays off his mind. And it's crazy. Guys who are good defenders, it's tough to guard him. I'll give you a good example. We were facing the Bulls, and Alex Caruso was defending Brunson. And we face the Bulls tomorrow. That's the funny thing. But Alex Caruso was guarding Brunson. And when I tell you that Jalen Brunson, and Alex Caruso last season, he was an all-NBA first defense team. And Jalen Brunson was just was showing him, hey, look, you could try to guard me, but you're not gonna guard me. And he was just shooting left and right, making buckets, tough shots. Doesn't matter what Caruso gave him, he was just making his shot. He was, and it was crazy. I really do believe that the Knicks have a good future. I do believe that Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are, they're the guys that can help you get a chip. You might think I'm crazy. You might say, oh, no, that's crazy. There's probably fans thinking that I'm just out of it. Like, they might say, oh, no, Julius Randle's not. But there are times where you watch the Knicks and you be like, if you realize, we do need Julius Randle. Like, there are some games where the Knicks were like, how to explain? They lost some games where Randle would have been a big help for Brunson. Because sometimes, and this is me being honest, sometimes, as much as I like the Knicks sometimes are not. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes they're horrible offensively, and there are times where they rely too much on Brunson. But now that OG's back, it'll help Brunson out a lot. And like I said, I think the Knicks are playing phenomenal. I think the Knicks are great. I think the Knicks can make a playoff run. Like I said, I'm being biased. I think the Knicks can make it to the finals. There's going to be people that be like, I'm crazy, but I really do believe that. And I know we're not fully healthy because we're still missing one player, and that's Julius Randle. And he's a big piece for us. That's something big for us. But hopefully, I do pray and I do hope he gets well and he's do better. Like, he's getting better and he's getting well. And I really can't wait to see him next year. I think next year too, by the way. Next season, the Knicks are going to be phenomenal. I really do believe that. If the Knicks extend OG Anunoby, if they find a way to get Isaiah Hartenstein and to keep everybody how it is, I think the Knicks will be fine. I think the Knicks have a great future in their hands. And I'm proud of the Knicks, I'm happy for the Knicks, I just think the Knicks are a great team. I think they're playing phenomenal. And like I said, this is probably my biased opinion. It's probably just, me being a Knicks fan. But if you are a Knicks fan, comment. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think the Knicks could make a final run? Do you think the Knicks might be a second round exit? Do you think the Knicks have a good future in their hand, or do they need more? I would like to hear from some of you Knicks fans. And like I say, and like we always say actually before we end the show, we don't know you, but we love you, and there's a God above that does. I'm Cashew. Peace out, PB Cashewville.